My name is Chip Brewster. This is Across America Good News Edition, where I take a slew of stories from across America, as the name suggests, done by our local Nexstar Media Group journalists, and I bring them all together once a week into this show. 30 minutes of just feature stories, interesting stories, unique profiles, unique real estate, as you'll see here in a second on the show today, and you get to learn about them right along with me as we go truly coast to coast in many cases, taking a look at these many stories. So what are some of the ones that we have on the show today? There's a young man right there his life was saved by his teacher and it was caught on camera. A gentleman who will leave behind a legacy of Kung Fu, a community taking Easter egg hunts through the summer season, interesting real estate, requires a boat for you to get to, a firefighter who's picked up some interesting skills in the kitchen, and finally, you got a little glimpse of it there, it's graduation season, and that means graduation photos. But these are perhaps the most unique graduation photos that I have ever seen. Very New Orleans. I will put it that way. You will see it firsthand at the very end of the show. You're gonna have to stick around for that one. But before we get to those stories, we are going to begin with a story from our station KTLA in Los Angeles, California. This one is a celebration, and man, what a milestone. Can you imagine if you're by your spouse right now or significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, look at them and say, will you stay with me for the next 8 decades?
A lifetime of memories, decades together.
I'm going to give you my special congratulations.
Okay.
Mel and Jennifer McMullen joined family and friends Wednesday evening at the Whittier Retirement Community where they live to celebrate a major milestone, their 80th wedding anniversary.
Remember all the roads we've traveled, wonders we have seen.
The couple's son performing an original song just for the occasion.
He is very, very good. And he makes up songs to fit the occasion.
Mel and Jennifer haven't just made it to 80, they've both made it to the century mark. Jennifer is 101, and Mel is about to mark his 101st birthday.
I was born in 1925. She was born in 1924.
The two met when they were just teenagers after he returned from serving his country as a B-24 gunner in the Army Air Corps during World War II. It was his brother who set them up.
He said, you should meet my younger brother. You'd be good together.
And they were, eventually settling down in Whittier and raising 3 sons. As they reflect on the time they've spent on this earth and together, they say they're not sure about imparting advice.
I think we're past the age of giving advice.
Just keep an open mind. Never think that what you think is better than what anybody else thinks.
But if they had to narrow it down, the secret to a long marriage and life is very simple.
Secret is love.
That's no secret. The secret is love. And that is true.
Lindsey Pena, KTLA 5 News.
That's no secret, he says. Hey, whatever it takes to get you to 80. 80 years together. So let's do the math. They're 101, 80, so they got married when they were about 21 or so. They've got me and my wife by a few years, but I think we can make it. I think we can make it to 80 years as well, and I've got some inspiration to do it. Thank you for that story. Let's continue the show, shall we? Our next one coming to us from WJW in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the very first story when I did my little tease rows of videos. I have seen multiple stories when I'm doing this show of someone saving someone's life, right? There's so many. It's amazing how often this happens. A 911 operator, a teacher, a kid, a passerby. Almost every one of those stories that I review, nothing on camera, right? So they're amazing things to share, but don't quite fit this show. This one, though, first one I've seen where the entire thing was caught on camera. So prepare to watch someone's life be saved.
Shelby High School last Tuesday, near the end of the school year, at the end of the school day.
I mean, we were talking about Cleveland sports, so because I was going up to the game on Saturday.
So yeah, we just have normal conversation after school.
In that moment, a camera captures a panicked Aiden Smith coming from a classroom, his hands clutching his throat.
It was the end of class. I had the water bottle in my hand. I was like this. Okay. I twisted it, and the lid shot down my throat.
To me, it was all instinct. There was no doubt about it that someone had to help right away. Yeah. So I just immediately ran over as quick as I could and started doing the Heimlich maneuver.
I was doing the back thrust because that's all I knew to do since he was doing the Heimlich. So
I was pretty scared, but like I could still kind of breathe. But it was scary.
For math teacher Bailey Wright, not her first such experience.
my senior year in high school, which actually it was here, I did the Heimlich on my best friend during lunch. So yeah, she was choking on a sandwich that she was eating.
The camera capturing the determined effort and their relief when the bottle cap is expelled.
It was relieving.
Just relief, absolutely. Yeah. I felt like he was getting heavier each time, and it was like just absolute relief. Okay, it's over. He's going to be okay. We can all go home.
I think a couple people had seen what happened, asked if I was okay. I said, yeah, I'm fine. And then I just went about my day.
I wasn't surprised that our staff stepped in and helped out because that's just what they do and who they are. And I pulled the video up and looked at the video and thought, oh my goodness, that's amazing. I mean, the fact that they actually did save his life.
The teacher's effort expected to be recognized during Monday evening's board meeting, both strongly advocating for everyone to learn the Heimlich.
I mean, it can happen anywhere to anybody.
To me, it's just one of those trainings you don't want to skip. Yeah. So that's, yeah.
What would you like to say to these two?
Thank you. Thank you for helping me and getting it out.
In Shelby, Dave Nethers, Fox 8 News.
Wow. I know, like, here we are sitting on the outside looking in, and you're thinking, maybe like me, like, oh, a little bit of a bottle cap. He said he could kind of still breathe. Maybe not that dire of a situation had they not been there. But the point was, he was choking, and knowing the Heimlich got that out of his windpipe, and we don't know what would have happened if he hadn't been there. So applauding that teacher, his quick thinking, and yes, having that training on knowing what to do if you see someone choking like that. Another story for you. Not quite in the same vein here, but it is from another Ohio station of ours, this one from WCMH in Columbus. And it's about a gentleman that founded an organization out of a family passion, but it grew to help others across the country. And he gets a special designation and honoring for what he's done.
The award is almost 20 years in the making. Will Gibson first started watching tennis here at the Wicker Tree Tennis Club in Columbus. That watching turned to playing, and since then it has been ace after ace on and off the court.
Still got it.
Getting to the tough shots and hitting winners. Tennis has been a big part of Will Gibson's life. He loved watching the sport, and at 3.5 years old, decided it was his time to take the court.
Just wanted to play tennis because my brother played tennis and my mother played tennis, so like we founded Buddy Up for Buddy Up Tennis.
Will has Down syndrome. Local coaches volunteered to teach him how to play. The coaches and his family wanted more people with Down syndrome to be able to learn the sport too, so Buddy Up Tennis was born.
When I was growing up with Buddy Up Tennis, because I love it, because I love to play with my friends and find my true potential.
As Will has grown, so has the nonprofit. It's now called Buddy Up for Life, offering other programs in addition to tennis to support people with Down syndrome. And it's in 45 cities. Will helps new chapters get going.
I love like helping out and finding my own freedom with my own personal family and my Buddy Up family.
Will's been on a pathway to really, take charge and break down barriers and show the world what individuals with Down syndrome are capable of doing.
The National Down Syndrome Society just held its advocacy conference in Washington, D.C. There, Will hit a winner off the court, receiving the Champions of Change Self-Advocate of the Year award.
It's just really incredible to see people outside of his everyday life show respect and really appreciate the barriers that he's broken and the accomplishments that he's achieved.
It is so fun to be at DC getting that award.
And as for what's next for Will, he wants to keep bringing Buddy Up for Life programs to more people and more cities and become a teacher. Local for you, I'm Eric Halperin, NBC4.
I don't know, that's it's hard to pick favorite stories every week. That one might be it, because for me, without getting too personal, my older sister is someone who has some disabilities, and so I've seen her deal with life, and it's a lot harder when you have a disability. So to see someone who was dealt a certain hand take that and turn it into a strength, a passion to help others, and have such a far-reaching impact on this world, certainly more than I feel like I've had Just amazing to see, and so happy that he was honored for the work that he's done, and there's still work to do. So great program there, Buddy Up for Life. Again, that story from our station WCMH. If you're looking for more information on that or any of these stories, part of the reason I say where it comes from is so you can check out their local website. We've got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to honor Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month with some very tasty looking visuals and a legacy of Kung Fu. I'll see you in a minute. We're back. You heard tasty visuals and Kung Fu when you stuck around. I know it. That's why I would stick around too. So let's get to that. I've got two stories for you, again, honoring AAPI Heritage Month. That's the month of May, in case you weren't aware. The first one coming to us from WOOD in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And it's about a gentleman who brought his own country's heritage and that of Kung Fu to the U.S. and has imparted that upon others, and it shall continue.
Inside Sam Chan's studio, you'll hear a lot of Cantonese, fitting for where this style of Kung Fu came from.
So he's the Ip Man from China. He brought the Wing Chun to Hong Kong.
Martial arts fans probably recognize that name from movies. Ip Man's son.
He's my teacher of Wing Chun.
Sam's interest in martial arts started as a kid in Hong Kong and continued when he immigrated to Grand Rapids in the 1970s.
Went to a high school, and then some kid asked me, "Do you know Kung Fu?"
And now if people asked, that's how the teenage student became a sifu, translates to teacher.
Even I moved here, I travel back and forth and continue to study with both Ip Man's son. So then I brought more knowledge back every time I went back to travel.
Over the decades, thousands of students have called Sam Sifu. They spent years trying to perfect the sticky hands technique, Tisao.
Wing Chun, when you start moving the person, when you touch a person, then you learn how to use it. The person keeps responding, defending himself.
Hand-to-hand combat is a big part of Wing Chun. Many lessons were here in Michigan, even field trips to China. An art that teaches lessons beyond the mat.
The Kung Fu, it helps you thinking more positive, give you more confidence and self-esteem.
After 50 years, Sifu decided it was time to retire.
I always ask my students, you can just continue the religions.
A group of students answered.
We wanted to continue that legacy.
That's how Chan's legacy Kung Fu was created.
So we had another place to go to train, to continue the tradition and the school in general. So
Sifu still stops by practice these days.
It's very important to learn how to respond.
Keeping Wing Chun traditions alive through every move.
So try straight, respond.
He makes it look effortless. Just the way, I mean, I don't know about you, but suddenly I'm like, I want to learn, because he's just nothing. And he's just, yeah, this is just my normal thing. This is really cool how I do this. I'm going to teach you how that's going. Very cool to see someone's lifelong passion continue on through others. So that was the Kung Fu. Now it's time for the tasty. And this one is coming to us from our station WDCW in Washington, D.C. And it's just kind of like stepping into a street fair where you get the sights, the sounds, and yes, the flavors, the smells of Thailand.
People ask me, where are you from? Yeah, I'm from Thailand. And we have a Thai dance, Thai music, and Thai costume. So we have like a very pretty unique of Thai. When you go to Southeast Asia, you know, Thailand very rich culture. That's why we want to promote to the world. It's some culture, people, like very difficult to go to Thailand. So we have right here.
If somebody goes to Thailand, it's the same thing. It's like market everywhere. People do the street food. It's fun. I think all the tourists love it. You see the logo here.
The beautiful thing about this world is that diversity is what brings us, again, new things. So we can have new food coming out of diversity. We can have new conversations. And just like the evolution of society comes out of community events like this.
I feel like we're moving forward in history. I mean, this is, you know, the land of immigrants. I think it's very nice that people can try it. You may not like it, but some people may love it, and this might be like their favorite thing ever.
Like, again, someone's home away from home. For if we do have any immigrants who are not able to get back to Thailand.
We can enjoy, we can live together, we can learn, experience culture together.
There you go. Just a little taste. You couldn't make it out there yourself. I know I don't go to DC every time there's a cool festival. You've experienced it here on Across America Good News Edition. I've got another story for you before we end this block and move on to the next one. And I'm going to stick with the food theme to round it out. This one's coming to us from our station WGN in Chicago, Illinois. We know firefighters, right? Many of us as kids, many of us who have kids, big red trucks, all the gear, the actual work that they do. They have a lot of skills. Well, there's one that we don't often talk about, and it takes place in the kitchen.
Oh, go eat lunch, boys.
On the menu today, smash burgers.
That's not good.
Here, that's apparently 5 stars.
Not too bad, John.
Gracias.
Inside the House of Bells in Inglewood, teasing is its own language. John Serwin speaks it fluently.
You could have messed it up 3, 4, 5 years ago. They'll keep bringing it up.
He's a Chicago firefighter, a paramedic, but his toughest gig may just be over the grill.
Did he tell you he's the backup cook too? He's not even.
The food matters a lot.
I have a hard time going out to dinner because rarely do I find something at a restaurant is good.
Because when your workday can go sideways in a heartbeat, the dinner table becomes something steady, like home. And John?
I gotta eat last.
He understands that.
It's sitting around the kitchen table, talking, making jokes. Everybody sits down and has a meal together.
Which may explain why a few months ago, he decided the rest of us should get a seat at the table. He brought the recipes home and started filming. No production team, just John and Archie.
You stay?
Archie believes every recipe is collaborative. And when things go wrong,
We're gonna get this figured out, though.
they go really wrong.
Hey, there's the smoke detector. Very sensitive.
John barely blinks.
Nothing gets to you. Staying fresh, staying cool.
See, in his world,
Right, Archie?
a kitchen disaster is just Tuesday.
What are you gonna do? Roll with the punches. Go with it.
His YouTube cooking channel took off almost immediately.
What's going on, everybody? My name is John Serwin, and this is my kitchen.
Turns out plenty of people wanted the Firehouse favorites.
Homemade patty melt, thin crust pizza. Mystery sandwich that I call Wisconsin Stepfathers.
Cooking with zero pretense, because John cooks the same way
Fresh basil.
firefighters talk.
That's gonna scratch me where I itch. Yeah, that's hot.
Straightforward.
Who would have thunk it? Why didn't I just use...
Lots of razzing.
Loving this. That would have been smarter.
And even more heart.
Just remember, you're only making food out of ingredients till you sit down and share them with the ones you love. Then it's a meal.
And that's what this really is, not a YouTube story, because whether he's feeding viewers at home,
A little bit of a monstrous sandwich.
or a dozen firefighters waiting around that table,
We got good eats.
John is doing the same thing,
Thanks, John.
Hey, no problem.
taking care of his people.
Done. All good. Great job, John.
A firefighter's 5 stars,
Lucky me.
unless you're the guy on cleanup.
Pots you didn't even think were possible to use for this meal.
Proof that what starts around one firehouse table in Chicago can feel a whole lot like family
Always appreciate it, guys.
somewhere else too.
All right, done. Whew, that felt good.
I love it as a TV guy, his tagline there. It's not going to nail it perfectly, but essentially, it's not a meal until you're sharing it with somebody. What a perfect way. So there you go. He'll run up and save your life, and he'll teach you how to make a mean smash burger. We've got more great stories to round this week's episode out after we come back. Hopefully that was a short enough ad break for you. I'm Chip Brewster, and we're going to finish off the show. I've got 3 more stories for you. First up from our station, WMBB in Panama City, Florida, Easter egg hunting. That usually happens like 1-2 days a year. How about just giant egg hunting through the summer? That's what one community is doing, and so far, it's a hit.
Christina Keith found some large, fillable eggs marked down after Easter and decided to make a summer activity everyone in her Liberty County community could enjoy.
I've went geocaching before and we've had treasure hunts, but I wanted to do something a little different because those are original. So if I took the geocaching idea and I took a scavenger hunt idea and I put it in together with the Easter egg hunt, you now have the blue egg, the red egg, the golden egg, the silver egg, and of course the Port St. Joe egg, Joe, which is my favorite egg of all time.
Each egg has its own unique Facebook page for community members to follow along with the hunt. Each time someone finds the egg, it is refilled with unique prizes for the next person to find. The game has grown from 1 egg to 5 in just a few weeks.
I found the egg with my daughter right before I was admin, and after that, I was like, I want to be a part of this, became a part of it, and now I get just as much joy when everyone else finds the egg as I did whenever me and my daughter found it.
These eggs can now be found in Calhoun County, Liberty County, Port St. Joe, Weewa, and Mariana. The most important thing to keep in mind when looking for these eggs is once they're found, they need to be refilled and rehidden as soon as possible so they can be found multiple times throughout each day. Organizers want as many people as possible to have the joy of hunting and finding an egg this summer.
There's only 60 days here. If everybody keeps it for 24 hours, I only leave 60 kids. Yep. There's 60 kids in each grade, and every kid wants to hunt this egg, yes. So we've got to keep it on the ball so it can keep rolling.
Those keeping track of the different eggs just hope that everyone has fun, makes memories, and enjoys their time with friends and family.
We can only do so much on this end. The community is the ones. Yes, they are the winners. They are the ones who have kept this going.
Thanks,
because
guys.
Without them, this wouldn't be anything.
In Calhoun County, Peyton Gay, News 13, Panhandle Strong.
See, that's one of those great examples of a super local story that can really have kind of a national appeal to it. Hopefully everyone out there going, that's a great idea. Like, yes, I've got a community that would support something similar. So now you know. Go get some clearance giant eggs and have some fun through the summer in your local community. Speaking of fun in the summer, it's an interesting real estate story, but it's also like a potential summer getaway. How would you like to own a piece of real estate that requires a boat to get to? You may think I'm talking about an island. I am not talking about an island. This one comes to us from our station WAVY in Norfolk, Virginia.
This beautiful waterfront property by Newport News is going up for sale. A little bit of a catch here. It's entirely surrounded by the water. Accessible only by boat. The Billingsleys are used to this commute.
2005, so that'd be 21 years going on.
They bought it from the Coast Guard for about $31,000.
Well, it was a wreck, unmanned since 1955. Birds had got in there and made a rookery, and everything that a bird could leave behind, including his carcass, was in there, and it stunk to high heaven.
The fixer-upper was no problem for this couple and their 2 college-age sons. They happen to be a family of engineers.
And so we love this kind of stuff, the problem solving and just hard work. We love it.
It does involve a little parallel parking.
Okay, you're gonna go back a little bit?
It took them 3 years to renovate it, limited to working in the summertime, beautifying all 6 floors.
You know it was 6 stories when you left the tool in the basement and you're on the top. Every box has a purpose. You have the propane. This is actually our shower. So there was nothing in here except dead birds. So we cleaned it up, painted it. My dad made some furniture in here. It sleeps 10, and the most we've had is 45.
What? Now it's solar powered. Gets good internet and TV reception, plumbing and all. You may not be able to get pizza delivery, but you can't beat the view.
If you're too hot, you move around to the shady side. If you're too cold, you move around to the sunny side.
As for why they're selling it, the Billingsleys are in their 70s, and their kids have moved out of state. It's just time to move on. They still absolutely love it here.
It's not just a cottage. It's not a second home at the beach. It's really is so much fun.
If you're interested in buying the place, we'll have more information on how you can do that on our website, wavy.com. Reporting from smack in the middle of the James River, Nick Broadway, 10 on your side.
Smack in the middle of the James River. Love that, Nick. Here's my prediction for you. Some investor type buys it, and that's an Airbnb. That's what I'm going with. Or maybe the family is going to prevent that from happening, because talk about a unique property that they have put their blood, sweat, and tears into. One more story to finish up today's show, and this one, I hope you've been waiting for it. It's coming to us from WGNO in New Orleans, Louisiana, and it is about perhaps the most unique graduation photos I have ever seen.
Whoa, check this out. 22-year-old Kat Daly, let's call her the Gator graduate, decided to take her graduation photos from McNeese State University with these gators.
My entire life, I've been working with wildlife since I was a child.
She works at Gator Country in Beaumont, Texas, where she took her graduation photos.
I really wanted to highlight the animals that I take care of every day and work with. So the alligators in the photos, when I have the blue dress on, the one specifically of me kissing him, that is Big Al. He is our oldest alligator here on property, 13-foot 4-inch alligator. He's about 94 years old, and we work with him pretty much every day, so he definitely knows me well, and I know him well.
Grandpa Gator.
Oh yeah, for sure. The other guy, the one of me in the cap and gown, that would be Big Tex, and he's actually the world record for the largest live caught alligator anywhere in the world. My gator friends.
And for those who are like, oh no, this is so dangerous.
What people aren't seeing behind these pictures is the hours of training, the hours of relationship building, and the whole team of people that I have behind me. We definitely have a lot more precautions than people think they are. They're not the big scary monsters that people paint them out to be.
The photos were taken by photographer Laura Oglesby.
And Miss Laura's absolutely fabulous at what she does, and she's not scared of much. So that's definitely why I kept her in mind when we were choosing who we wanted to photograph the pictures.
This is not AI. This is the real deal.
That's not AI, that's just Big Al. So I don't know what to tell y'all.
AL, not AI.
Yep, right. Definitely framing those photos and putting them on the wall.
Got that right. And I think that's what drew me to the story, was their phrase about how it's not AI. You know, in today's age, you see something like that and you just assume it was some kind of computer-generated AI-made image. No, real gators, actually kissing gators that she's been working with for years. Nonetheless, amazing to see, and glad that you could see it here on this show. Until next time, I'm Chip Brewster. Take care.